Welcome to Miss Scarlett. Subscribe and don't miss out on Patreon. Have fun! Deep within the dark recesses of the closet, a forgotten treasure lay obscured. Blaze's curiosity stirred as he noticed a weathered cardboard box, its presence nagging at his mind. With trembling hands, he parted the dusty lid, uncovering a hidden gem, a vibrant red satin dress. A sharp breath escaped his lips as recognition struck. This was his sister's prom dress, a relic from a cherished memory. A wave of reminiscence washed over him, bringing back the vibrant image of his sister on that special night. He could see her beaming with joy, twirling gracefully, her auburn hair cascading like a waterfall. The fabric felt cool and smooth against his skin. Before he could second-guess himself, Blaze slipped it over his head. The zipper glided up effortlessly. He turned to face the full-length mirror and gasped. The dress hugged his slim frame perfectly, accentuating curves he never knew he had. For a moment, he hardly recognized the person staring back. "Is this me?" he whispered, twirling slowly. The skirt flared out, a crimson bloom against his pale skin. Something awakened inside him, a sense of rightness he'd never experienced before. Blaze spent the next hour exploring this new version of himself. He practiced walking in the delicate heels he found tucked away with the dress. He experimented with his sister's old makeup, clumsily applying mascara and a swipe of red lipstick. When he finally removed the dress, folding it carefully back into the box, Blaze felt a pang of loss. He tucked the secret away, but couldn't shake the lingering feeling that he'd glimpsed his true self for the first time. Over the next few weeks, Blaze found himself drawn to the women's sections of clothing stores. He'd pause, fingering soft fabrics and admiring elegant designs. One day, gathering his courage, he purchased a simple black pencil skirt and crisp white blouse. In the safety of his bedroom, Blaze tried on his new outfit. The skirt hugged his hips, the blouse accentuating his slender build. He felt a thrill of excitement and terror. What did this mean? Was this who he truly was? Blaze created a private blog, needing an outlet for his swirling thoughts and emotions. He wrote about his experiences, his fears, and his growing certainty that he was meant to live as a woman. He chose the name Ophelia for his online persona. As weeks turned to months, Ophelia's wardrobe grew. She learned to apply makeup with finesse, mastered walking in heels, and even began practicing feminine voice techniques. Her blog gained a small but devoted following of others on similar journeys. "I never imagined I could feel so complete," Ophelia wrote one evening. "For the first time, I recognized the person in the mirror. She's always been there, waiting to emerge." The day Ophelia decided to come out to her best friend, Mark, was terrifying. They met at a quiet cafe, Ophelia's heart pounding beneath a soft purple sweater. She'd opted for minimal makeup and her usual jeans, not wanting to overwhelm Mark. "There's something I need to tell you," Ophelia began, her voice barely above a whisper. "I've discovered something about myself, and it's going to change a lot of things." Mark listened intently as Ophelia explained her journey. When she finished, silence stretched between them. "Thank you for trusting me," Mark finally said, reaching across the table to squeeze her hand. "This doesn't change our friendship. I'm here for you, whatever you need." Tears of relief sprang to Ophelia's eyes. With Mark's support, she felt stronger, more prepared to face the challenges ahead. Ophelia's transformation continued. She began hormone therapy under the guidance of a supportive doctor. Slowly, her body began to align with her true self. Her skin softened, subtle curves appeared, and her auburn hair grew long and lustrous. Her blog chronicled every step, offering hope and guidance to others. Ophelia shared her triumphs and setbacks, her moments of doubt and overwhelming joy. "Today, I wore a dress to work for the first time," she wrote one evening. "I was terrified, but also exhilarated. My co-workers were kind and supportive. I feel like I can finally breathe, like I'm no longer hiding." As Ophelia grew more confident in her identity, she decided to take her advocacy beyond the digital realm. She volunteered at local support groups, offering a compassionate ear and practical advice to those just beginning their journeys. At one meeting, she met Chloe, a vivacious woman with a quick wit and infectious laugh. They bonded over shared experiences and a mutual love of classic films. As weeks passed, their friendship deepened into something more. Their first date was a picnic in the park. Ophelia wore a flowing green sundress, her auburn hair catching the sunlight. Chloe complimented her outfit, a simple gesture that meant the world to Ophelia. "You look beautiful," Chloe said, her eyes sparkling. "That color suits you perfectly." As they shared sandwiches and laughter, Ophelia marveled at how far she'd come. She was living authentically, surrounded by love and support. The journey hadn't been easy, but every step had been worth it. Months turned into years. Ophelia's blog evolved into a popular resource for the transgender community. She wrote a book about her experiences, hoping to reach an even wider audience. Her relationship with Chloe blossomed, built on a foundation of mutual respect and understanding. On the anniversary of the day she first tried on her sister's dress, Ophelia stood before her mirror. She wore a red satin gown, similar to the one that had started her journey. Her auburn hair cascaded over her shoulders in soft waves. "This is me," she said softly, smiling at her reflection. "This has always been me." Chloe appeared in the doorway, resplendent in a black tuxedo. "Ready for the gala, my love?" Ophelia nodded, taking her partner's hand. They were attending a fundraiser for transgender youth, where Ophelia would be the keynote speaker. As they drove to the event, Ophelia reflected on her journey. The venue was elegant, filled with supporters of the cause. Ophelia mingled confidently, her red dress a vibrant splash of color among the sea of formal wear. When it was time for her speech, she ascended the stage with grace. "Good evening, everyone," she began, her voice clear and strong. "My name is Ophelia, and I'm here to share my story with you." She spoke of discovery, of fear and triumph, of the power of self-acceptance and the importance of community support. As she concluded, the room erupted in applause. "By embracing our true selves, we light the way for others," Ophelia said. "Thank you for being part of this journey." After the speech, a young person approached Ophelia, eyes shining with unshed tears. "Your blog saved my life," they said. "You gave me hope when I had none." Ophelia hugged them gently, her own eyes misting. "You're not alone," she whispered. "You're so much stronger than you know." As the evening wound down, Ophelia and Chloe swayed on the dance floor. Ophelia's red dress twirled, reminiscent of that first moment of self-discovery years ago. "I'm so proud of you," Chloe murmured, pressing a kiss to Ophelia's cheek. Ophelia smiled, feeling truly at peace. She had found her place in the world, her authentic self, The journey had been long and often difficult, but she wouldn't change a moment of it. As they left the gala, hand in hand, Ophelia paused to look up at the stars. She thought of all the people out there, still struggling to find themselves, still hiding in the shadows. "We've come so far," she said softly. "But there's still work to do." Chloe squeezed her hand. "And we'll do it together." Ophelia nodded, feeling a renewed sense of purpose. Her journey wasn't over. In many ways, it was just beginning. But now she walked forward with confidence, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The next morning, Ophelia woke early, inspired by the previous night's events. She sat at her desk, fingers flying over the keyboard as she began a new blog post. "Dear friends," she wrote, "last night reminded me of the power of our stories. Each of us has a unique journey, a path that only we can walk. But we don't have to walk it alone." She paused, considering her words carefully. "When I first tried on that red dress years ago, I never imagined where it would lead me. I was scared, confused, and so very alone. But with each step, each small act of bravery, I found my way. And I found all of you." Ophelia continued writing, pouring her heart onto the digital page. She shared anecdotes from the gala, the conversations that had touched her soul, the moments of connection that reaffirmed her purpose. "To those of you just beginning your journey," she wrote, "know that there is hope. There is a community waiting to embrace you, to support you, to celebrate you. You are valid. You are beautiful. You are loved." As she wrote, Ophelia glanced at a framed photo on her desk. It showed her and Chloe on their first anniversary, both laughing as they attempted to take a selfie. The joy in their faces was palpable, a testament to the love they'd built together. Ophelia smiled, remembering how nervous she'd been on that first date. She'd spent hours agonizing over her outfit, finally settling on a simple blue dress that brought out the warmth in her auburn hair. Chloe had complimented her immediately, setting her at ease with that radiant smile. Turning back to her writing, Ophelia felt a surge of gratitude for all the love and support in her life. She thought of Mark, who had stood by her side from the very beginning, of her co-workers, who had embraced her transition with open minds and hearts, of the countless individuals she'd met through support groups and speaking engagements, each with their own powerful story to tell. "We are stronger together," she typed. "Our diversity is our strength. By sharing our stories, by living authentically, we create a more compassionate world for everyone." As she neared the end of her post, Ophelia heard Chloe stirring in the bedroom. She smiled, anticipating their morning ritual of coffee and conversation on the balcony. "Remember," she wrote in conclusion, "your journey is uniquely yours. Embrace it, celebrate it, and know that you are never truly alone. We are here, walking beside you, cheering you on every step of the way." With a satisfied sigh, Ophelia published the post. She stood, stretching, and moved to the kitchen to start the coffee. As the rich aroma filled the apartment, Chloe emerged, still adorably rumpled from sleep. "Morning, beautiful," Chloe murmured, wrapping her arms around Ophelia's waist and pressing a kiss to her cheek. Ophelia leaned into the embrace, feeling a wave of contentment wash over her. "Good morning, love. Sleep well?" They chatted as they prepared breakfast, a comfortable domesticity that never failed to warm Ophelia's heart. As they settled on the balcony with their coffee, Ophelia's phone chimed with notifications. "Your post is really resonating," Chloe noted, glancing at the screen. Look at all those comments already. Ophelia scrolled through the responses, her eyes misting at the outpouring of love and support. There were messages of gratitude, of shared experiences, of hope renewed. Each one reaffirmed her purpose, her commitment to being a voice for her community. I never imagined my life could be like this, Ophelia said softly, looking out over the city skyline. Sometimes I still can't believe how far I've come. Chloe reached across the table, intertwining their fingers. You've worked so hard, love. You've earned every bit of happiness. As they sat there, enjoying the morning sun and each other's company, Ophelia's mind drifted to the future. There was still so much she wanted to do, so many people she hoped to reach. She thought about expanding her advocacy work, perhaps starting a mentorship program for transgender youth. The idea of guiding others through the challenges she had faced filled her with a sense of purpose. What are you thinking about? Chloe asked, noticing Ophelia's contemplative expression. Ophelia shared her ideas, her excitement growing as she spoke. Chloe listened attentively, offering encouragement and suggestions. You know, Chloe said when Ophelia finished, I think that's a wonderful idea. You could make a real difference in so many lives. Energized by Chloe's support, Ophelia spent the rest of the morning researching and making plans. She reached out to contacts in various organizations, exploring partnerships and resources. By lunchtime, she had the outline of a program taking shape. She envisioned a combination of online resources and in-person support groups tailored to the unique needs of transgender youth and their families. As she worked, Ophelia reflected on her own journey. She thought of the scared, confused person she had once been, hiding behind a facade that never quite fit. How different would her path have been if she'd had access to support and guidance from the beginning? Determined to create the resource she wished she'd had, Ophelia threw herself into the project. Over the following weeks, she balanced her regular job with countless hours of planning, writing, and networking. Chloe was a constant source of support, offering encouragement during late nights and celebrating every small victory. Together, they attended fundraisers and awareness events, spreading the word about Ophelia's initiative. As the launch date for the mentorship program approached, Ophelia felt a mix of excitement and nervousness. She stood in front of her closet, deliberating over what to wear for the kickoff event. Her hand brushed against a familiar texture, the red satin of her sister's old prom dress. Ophelia paused, a wave of nostalgia washing over her. How far she had come since that pivotal moment of self-discovery. With a smile, she reached for a different red dress, one she had bought for herself, one that represented the woman she had become. As she slipped it on, the color vibrant against her skin, Ophelia felt a sense of coming full circle. She styled her auburn hair in loose waves, applied her makeup with care, and stepped into a pair of elegant heels. Looking in the mirror, Ophelia saw a woman confident in her identity, ready to help others find their own path. Chloe appeared behind her, wrapping her in a warm embrace. You look stunning, she said, meeting Ophelia's eyes in the mirror. Are you ready? Ophelia took a deep breath, squeezing Chloe's hand. I am, she said, her voice steady and sure. Let's go make a difference. As they drove to the event, Ophelia's mind was filled with the possibilities that lay ahead. She thought of all the lives that could be touched, all the young people who might find hope and guidance through her program. The venue was filled with supporters, allies, and members of the transgender community. As Ophelia took the stage to introduce her mentorship initiative, she felt a surge of pride and purpose. Welcome, everyone! Everyone! She began, her voice clear and strong. Today, We're not just launching a program. We're creating a lifeline, a beacon of hope for those who need it most. As she spoke about the mentorship program, outlining its goals and structure, Ophelia could see the impact of her words on the audience. There were nods of understanding, tears of relief, and expressions of determination. Together, she concluded, we can create a world where every person feels empowered to live as their authentic self, where no one has to face their journey alone. Thank you for being part of this vision. The applause was thunderous, filling Ophelia with a sense of accomplishment and hope. As she mingled with attendees afterward, she was approached by a middle-aged couple, their eyes shining with gratitude. Our daughter came out to us recently, the woman explained, her voice thick with emotion. We want to support her, but we didn't know where to start. This program, it's exactly what we needed. Ophelia hugged them both, feeling the weight of their trust and hope. You're not alone, she assured them. We're here to support you every step of the way. As the evening wound down, Ophelia found a quiet moment to reflect. She thought of the young person she once was, scared and alone, trying on that red dress in secret. How she wished she could go back and tell that version of herself that everything would be okay, that an incredible journey lay ahead. But she couldn't change the past. What she could do was create a better future for others. With this program, with her continued advocacy and support, she could help light the way for those still finding their path. Chloe appeared at her side, a gentle hand on her back. You did it, love, she said softly. You should be so proud. Ophelia leaned into her partner's embrace, feeling a profound sense of peace and purpose. We did it, she corrected. I couldn't have done any of this without you. As they left the venue, hand in hand, Ophelia looked up at the night sky. The stars seemed to shine a little brighter, a cosmic affirmation of the path she had chosen. She thought of all the lives that would be touched by her program, all the stories yet to unfold. Her own journey had led her here, to this moment of creating change and fostering understanding. With Chloe by her side and a community of support behind her, Ophelia felt ready for whatever challenges lay ahead. She had found her voice, her purpose, her true self, and now she would help others do the same. As they drove home, Ophelia's mind was already racing with ideas for the future. There was so much more to be done, so many more people to reach, but for now, she allowed herself to bask in the glow of this achievement. She had come so far from that day in the closet, trying on her sister's dress. That single act of curiosity had set her on a path she could never have imagined, a path that had led her to love, to purpose, to a life lived authentically. Ophelia smiled, squeezing Chloe's hand. Whatever the future held, she was ready to face it, not as the person she once pretended to be, but as her true self. Ophelia, in all her complexity and beauty, ready to shine her light and help others find their way.
Thanks for watching, my girlies. Be sure to check out Patreon for more.